What's going on? Shit. What's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rosa, a.k.a. Zuma TV. Back in the building. How we feeling? This is the first segment of Zuma's Morning Thoughts. We out here, we shaking, we moving. You know what I'm saying? Getting some shit done. Felt like I needed to, I be taking these long drives and shit like that. I just be wanting to, you know what I'm saying, get this shit up out of my system, you feel me? So, there's a lot of good shit going on in the boxing world. You know what I mean? And I just feel like we need to talk about it. Shout out to my boy Coffee Plant in the building, bro. What up? How we feeling? What you got going on, bro? What you doing out here in these streets, guys? Cool? Talk to me. Yeah, man. My girl gonna go to work and shit. My girl gonna go to work. Mind you, she a nail tech or whatever. And she know I was gonna go live last night. But my nigga, I was too tired, bro. I don't know what's going on with me. I think my iron low. Something, because I have trouble with my iron levels and shit. I got low iron deficiency, anemia. So whenever that come around, bro, I just be dealing with like chronic fatigue, and that shit just be a motherfucker, bro. So I gotta get my blood checked, make sure everything's straight. But my girl gonna fuck around and tell me that she forgot her nail bag. Tay said, is this live? Yes, it is, brother. Yes, it is. She a nail tech. She gonna forget her nail bag. So she gonna make me got the fuck about this bed to go drop this shit off to her, man. That shit a nice little hike from where I live. So, you know what I mean, I was in this car talking to myself. What the fuck I'm talking to myself for, man? Let me talk to the nation. Let me talk to the people. He said, Mark, mad as fuck. Nah, I ain't mad, because, shit happens, and, bro, I'm as forgetful as they come, so there's been times where she's helped me, too, so I can't really trip, you feel me, but I'm like, damn. I be trying to prioritize this rest, because I don't get rest that often, during the week. I really don't be getting rest all like that, so. There's always something, though. Even like on my day off, I take some vacation time or whatever. Bro, there's always something I gotta do. It never ends, bro. I swear to God. It never ends. The hustle never stops with me. You know what I mean? That's why I be having trouble finding vacation time and shit, bro. Because there's always something to do. When there's Mark, you always got something to do. Always. Fuck, I heard the wrong fucking way. Fuck. You know what I mean? But how we feeling, man? How's our morning treating us? How everything? Shout out to my boy Tay in the building. Shout out to my boy Coffee Plant. You know what I mean? I ain't expecting that many people to get on here, bro. You know what I'm saying? I ain't make no announcements or nothing like that. Everybody used to me coming in at night. We definitely gonna get the night live popping. I was trying to get Greg Hackett on, but he got some fights coming up and shit like that. So I don't want to fuck up what he got going on. I ain't trying to have him interfere in none of. I ain't trying to interfere with what he got going on. Woke up cleaning your house. You ain't got school, Marissa? Ain't you in school? He talking about we still sleeping. Yeah, I hear that. Shit. I wish, bro. Like, man, God willing. I mean, I won't be in this other job too much longer. I could just go all in with the boxing shit, bro. Once I go in with the boxing shit, I could sleep how I want. You know what I'm saying? It'll be lovely. absolutely lovely. But so then we got grind. Oh, you homeschool? I'm dead. I ain't gonna lie. I always wanted to see what homeschool was like. I always wanted to see what homeschool was like, man. I ain't never get to experience that though. I envy you, Martha. But I'm glad I went to high school, though. High school was just, you know, it was a great experience, bro. You got to meet a whole bunch of different people. I still got some close friends to this day that I met in high school. You know what I'm saying? That's a real important time. But anyways, that weigh-in between Sebastian Fundora and Keith Thurman is coming soon, man. I'm looking at these guys, looking at their faces, we won't really get to see how they look until the weigh-in. But like Keith Thurman, he got what I call that in-shape face. Don't really look drained, in my opinion. Look like he in shape, ready to go. I mean, he shouldn't be drained. Because at the end of the day, he's new to 154. So, you know what I mean? If you was able to make 47, if you move up to 54, you should feel a lot better. But, you know, that move up for Keith may have been, you know, a necessity because he is 37 years old. You know, as you get up in weight, man, as you get up in age, you know, your body continues to mature and it can't get away with things that it did when you were in your youth. So, I mean, this might have been a good move up for Keith, but the guy that he's going up against, you know, from what I've heard, doesn't really struggle to make 54 neither, but he's saying that he may move up to 160 soon, so that tells me that he might be having some issues. So I don't know, man, but Sebastian Fundora always looks the same to me, whether he's fighting or he's not. Like his face doesn't really change, his physique doesn't really change. He's just a slender motherfucker, bro. So, you know, this Keith Thurman Sebastian Fundora fight, it went from being a fight that I'm not really too interested in to being all in with. I ain't gonna lie, I'm kind of excited to see what Keith Thurman has left. That's really what I'm more interested about than anything, because I know what Sebastian Fundora is going to do. It's just a matter of what can Keith do at this stage of his career, because we know he got the IQ. You know, we know he has the skills. We know he has speed. We know he has explosiveness. We know he has power. But with 37 years of age, new weight class, injuries, inactivity, what is left in the gas tank? Brock Jarvis isn't going to really move the needle for me and have me reassured that he's going to have success against Fundora. No. Brock Jarvis, he's not an elite level fighter, man. He's a gatekeeper at best, in my opinion. And I think Keith Thurman knew that. I think he knew that Brock Jarvis was warm up and shit like that just to get them cobwebs off. Keith Thurman's intelligent. He knows who's dangerous and who's not. He's been in the game a long time. So it's going to be cool to see what Keith Thurman has left. If he's able, because I ain't going to lie, like I said, I'm rooting for Keith. Not because I fuck with Keith or anything like that. I'm going to keep it real. I don't fuck with neither one of these niggas. You know what I'm saying? But I did bet on Keith Thurman for the knockout, man. And Keith Thurman said something that was real interesting. He says that he feels like he's going to knock Fundora out early. Early. Woo-wee. Now, could that be Keith just talking? Absolutely. Is there a likelihood that Sebastian Fundora could take Keith Thurman's power? Absolutely. You see Fundora get hit with a lot of shit and ain't go nowhere. He's been knocked before. He's been dropped multiple times. But for the most part, Fundora's durable. And I don't know if Keith Thurman's packing a punch like Brian Mendoza at this point in his career where he could really knock Sebastian Fundora smooth the fuck out. I don't know. But Keith, he believes in his power. He's very confident in his preparation. That boy Mike Fox may have gotten that dude all the way right. You feel what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, I'm about to see if Mike Fox probably busy right now. He probably out there with Keith watching the fight and shit like that. But whatever, it is what it is. Cause Mike Fox is a friend of mine. Me and Mike Fox been friends for years. Way before. became like the Sebastian Fundora go-to sparring partner. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna tap in with him to see exactly what he thinks about shit. That'd be pretty dope. But Keith Thurman, he talking about getting that early knockout, y'all. Early. Okay. You gonna have to live up to that, man. Because one thing about Fundora, he's starting to understand his range a little more. He was just talking in interviews. He getting more comfortable with his range. You know, previously he said that he didn't like to fight on the outside because he always felt like he couldn't get maximum power on his shots, and he always felt like punching down was something that was difficult for him. And when he fought on the inside, he said, "This is his thought." He said that he was able to. He felt like it was easier to hit his opponent, and he was more successful with landing good power shots. You know what I'm saying? Big play break in the building. He said it's still time for Keith. He said it's still time for Keith to drop out. Just joking. I mean, yo, look, man. If Keith Thurman, I'm gonna just say that. I'm gonna make this abundantly clear. If this nigga Keith Thurman pull out of this fight, he done. He done. You lucky that PBC even giving you this opportunity to start with. I'm gonna keep it all the way. I'm gonna keep it a trillion with you. You better be lucky that PBC even giving you this opportunity, bro. Sam Saluka, Louis Cubas, whoever's involved in this fight. You better be lucky that they went out of their way to get you this fight. Because because let's keep it real, Keith Thurman ain't really relevant right now in comparison to all the other guys at 54. You know, Keith Thurman is known for what he did in the past. He hasn't done anything in the presence of their boxing fans buzzing about him. A lot of the reason why people even talking about this fight, including myself, is because there's a lot of questions, there's a lot of mysteries right now going into this fight. You know, what's intriguing people is the what-if factor. You know what I mean? It's a lot of hypotheticals that's really propelling the excitement in this fight. So, yeah, man. If Keith Thurman pull out of this one, it's a wrap. Shit. My boy Bray, he carrying the chat right now. He said if Fundora let Keith in the inside, I'm dropping that shit. It's gonna be a long night. If Keith takes control early, Fundora is cooked. But if Fundora pops that jab, Keith is cooked. I think Keith is intelligent enough. Because you got to think about it this way, Bray. This man sparred Mike Fox for weeks going into this fight. And I'm going to tell you this, Mike Fox is a better outboxer than Fundora. So if Fundora plays the outboxer role, Keith's going to be ready for that. Mike Fox been throwing a million jabs at this nigga Keith for I don't know how many weeks, 6, 8 weeks. I don't know how long Keith was. I don't know how long they were sparring. Let's say between 4 to 6 weeks. You know what I'm saying? That's just an estimate. You know what I'm saying? So, my fault. There's a lot of traffic going on right now, brothers. Mike Fox threw a million jabs at this nigga Keith. So if Keith didn't spend time getting around that rangy jab against Colin Southpaws, then I don't know what the fuck he was in Keith doing, man. I don't think Fundora got a better jab than Mike Fox. I don't think that's Fundora's specialty. And I think that once Fundora gets frustrated by the boxing ability of Keith Thurman, he's gonna go to what he resources doing, fighting on the inside. And that's what Keith got to be ready for. That's why he got to be doing a whole lot of strength and conditioning. He got to prepare for his body to possibly take some punishment. You know what I'm saying? He got to be conditioned to go to war, because I think when Keith starts to use his speed and box, and Fundora has trouble catching up to him, that's when Fundora's like, fuck it, I got to bring this fight to him because I can't box with this motherfucker. You see what I'm saying? So he's got to be ready to take it there. He has to be ready for everything. Let's make this shit clear. He's gonna have to be ready for everything, for all aspects of the fight. He's gonna have to be, because Fundora already know what he's gonna do. He's gonna try to bring that similar approach he had with Tim Tszyu. keeping motherfuckers at the end of his punches. Keeping him with the end of his punches, right? This fucking freak is on having she having road rage right now. She was just airing somebody else. Fundora's gonna try to keep Keith Thurman at range and keep him at the end of his punches, uppercuts, shit like that. Keith's gonna have to use his ring intelligence, man. He's gonna have to use that side-to-side movement. You know what I mean? If Fundora overextends on a punch, Keith Thurman got to be quick to the trigger. Fire off like he got a counter in the combinations, like I said on my podcast. At the studio, and I think Keith Thurman's main goal is to get Fundora frustrated, because I think once Fundora realizes that fucking outside fight ain't gonna work, that Keith Thurman may be a little bit too athletic, he may be too savvy of a boxer. That's when Fundora's gonna bring that pressure to him. He gonna step to Keith. Now Keith, he wants this to happen, but he also has to be cautious of the shots that's coming at him, because Fundora ain't like this one punch knockout artist, but at the same time he has that punch where it's like it could have some impact on you. It could break you down. You see what I'm saying? And Keith Thurman ain't the most durable motherfucker either. We see him get folded to the body. We see them get dropped to the head. We see them get hurt to the head and the body. We see them get dropped. You know what I mean? By guys that were a lot smaller than Fundora, who might not be as strong as Sebastian Fundora. Y'all think that skinny motherfucker ain't strong? Y'all got another thing coming, man. Motherfuckers been underestimating Sebastian Fundora for a long time. If you think he ain't strong, you a goddamn fool. Don't let that physique fool you. You feel what I'm saying? Motherfuckers down here. You got motherfucking food bank down here. One thing about them Ricans, they gonna give back to the people. Shout out to my brother Ricans out here. Yeah, y'all can sleep on Fundora if y'all want to. You gonna pack one of y'all niggas thinking that he's just skinny, he ain't got no power. Okay, go ask Eric Salute in that shit. And he looking all crazy in that ring. Yeah, man. Keith Thurman, he got to be doing a little bit of everything. We gonna have to see him be defensively responsible. He has to successfully transition from offense to defense. He cannot lack at either one of those departments once Sebastian Fundora puts that pressure on. You know what I mean? We keep tightening up his high guard, catching the shots. When he's catching shots on the high guard, he's rolling with it to take power off of it. You know what I mean? He has to be a smooth operator in this fight, man. You feel what I'm saying? He got to be a smooth operator. And one good thing I can say about Keith, and I'm going to say this about fighters in general, there's some fighters that they can spend a shit ton of time outside of the ring. But it's like riding a bike for them. You know what I'm saying? Like if you know how to ride a bike and you go 10 years without riding the motherfucker, that shit ain't gonna stop you. As soon as you get on that motherfucker, you gonna catch up to it like this. Keith, I've seen him have crazy inactivity, and he really showed no signs of rest. But this is a different type of test. I'm understanding of that. But so far in his career, he has not really shown any ring rust. Now, could this be the moment where it happens? Sure. But so far, Keith Thurman hasn't really shown that he's a victim to that. You see what I'm saying? And I see the comments like We Fight All Night TV. He has his criticisms, and they're understandable. He says, one KO since 2015, and people really put money on Fundora, which is me, to get KO'd is just crazy. Send that money to me if y'all giving out free money. I mean, listen, if it's 6-1, I'm gonna put the bet every time. Especially like Keith Thurman ain't no slouch. I think you underestimated Keith Thurman punching power for one. And I think because I think what happened with Keith was, I just think he liked the idea of boxing better. You know what I'm saying? I think because Keith Thurman, all he did was knock motherfuckers out. That's why he got the name one time. But it's not like his punching power went away. I just think he resorted to other tactics, which was boxing motherfuckers. I think he took, I don't know, that was just something that he was more into. You see what I'm saying? But whatever the case may be, you're right. He hasn't had a KO in 11 years. Cool. that don't mean that he can't hit Fundora with a good shot and possibly finish the job. And Keith Thurman made it clear that he going for a knockout, that he's punching with bad intentions this fight. So we gonna have to see. We gonna see, man. But if y'all think, I think what's also foolish is thinking that Fundora can't get hurt by Thurman. I think that's foolish. I think that's foolish as well. Since we talking about shit that's foolish. Listen, man, y'all got every right to doubt Keith Thurman. I get it. Shit, I ain't 100% invested in Keith Thurman. Not at all. I don't trust that man. I stopped trusting that man a long time ago. But I'm not about to sit here and act like this motherfucker can't fight. I'm not about to sit here and act like he don't have a chance. I think that's one of the biggest mistakes that's made in the sport of boxing, thinking that motherfuckers ain't got a chance to beat whatever. All that underestimate, and that's why a lot of these upsets be happening, because I think motherfuckers is incapable of doing anything. And I don't think it's Sebastian Fundora that highly where, you know, it's just completely out of the question that Keith beats him. I don't think Sebastian that good. I think y'all giving Sebastian Fundora too much credit. For real. He good, yeah, he's solid, but he ain't as good as y'all making it seem. I think there's a lot of holes in Fundora's game. Fundora gets hit a lot. Usually when Keith Thurman lands those punches on guys, he has a lot of success. So we got to see exactly what's left of Keith Thurman. If Keith Thurman was more active, he was acclimated to 54 and all that good shit, man, hands down, I'm picking Keith, and I'm extremely confident in my pick. But there are some intangibles that's in place right now that may be the very reason why Keith Thurman gets beat up, that he loses, may possibly even get stopped. I don't understand why you, we fight all night. I don't understand why you looking at this as like a Cinderella story. I don't think it's a Cinderella story if Keith Thurman knocks out Fundora. Fundora's not that good, bro. He's not that good. You act like Fundora's like this defensive wizard that puts pressure and stops everybody he fights. Like, bro, that's not always the case, brother. That's not always the case. I don't think it's a Cinderella story at all. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Fundora is very beatable, especially against somebody who. Now, what's a Cinderella story is if somebody like fucking Cordell Booker beats Sebastian Fundora. Somebody who hasn't fought in the elite level, you know, isn't an elite level fighter, just go ahead and dispose of, you know, motherfucking Sebastian Fundora. Like that type shit, I'll be like, oh, all right, yeah, I see what you're saying. But Keith Thurman don't fought at an elite level. He beat elite level fighters. You know what I mean? Fundora ain't ever do nothing that Keith ain't do. You see what I'm saying? So it's just a matter of can Keith rise to the occasion. If he rises to the occasion, he's gonna beat Fundora. If he doesn't, he gets his ass whooped. It is what it is. You feel me? If Keith Thurman clicking that night, he's gonna beat Fundora. You know what I mean? I don't know why you reversing, cuz. What are you doing? Bro, Philly drivers, bro. Philly and Jersey drivers, the worst drivers to walk this motherfucking planet, bro. I swear to God. Nah, I definitely wouldn't call Keith a Cinderella story. That's my thing. It's like Keith Thurman was literally the best welterweight in the world at one point in time. And this was when 47 was spilled with smoke. You know what I'm saying? And yes, that was a long time ago. Yes, that's a different division. Yes, that's a young Keith Thurman. But, you know, and he is injury prone, but he hasn't really absorbed much punishment in the ring. So, as long as he ain't coming in there with no injuries, he clicking, Fundora gonna have a tough time, man. And just listen to what these fighters are saying. I don't really see many fighters completely counting out Keith Thurman because they know what he's capable of. And they also know that Fundora is very beatable. Ex-Brian Mendoza. We fight all night. He says he beat elite level fighters recently by decision. Okay. I can't see a world where Keith wins by decision over Fundora. He doesn't have enough output. Well, the good thing is Keith Thurman, he doesn't have to throw as many punches as Fundora, because what judges base the fight off of is clean, effective punches. So if you throw, for example, we fight on night TV. If you throw 40 punches at me, right? And let's say you get 15 off on me, 20 off. Let's say you go half from the field, right? But I hit you with 4 shots and they visibly hurt you. Like they visibly hurt you. Legs buckle, you know what I'm saying? You get rocked, you holding, you know what I mean? Your legs, your equilibrium all off. What you think who do you think they're gonna get around to? They ain't gonna give it to you. So I say that to say, if Keith Thurman lands clean, effective shots, while Fundora is more volume-based, you know what I mean? Just, chipping away at Keith. And Keith lands 4 big shots that break Fundora's nose, cuts him, wobbles him. They're going to get it around to Keith. So, in the amateurs, it's more about quantity. In the pros, it's more about quality. You see what I'm saying? Now, if Fundora could be volume-based and they still be clean and effective, Keith in trouble. Keith in trouble. Like, it's not a foregone conclusion that Fundora beat the shit out of Keith Thurman. Hey, but I think we gotta give a little more. I think we gotta put a little. Just me personally, y'all can do whatever y'all want. Y'all grown men. Personally, I think we gotta put more respect on Keith's name. You know what I mean? So I cannot wait. Like, I cannot wait to see what Thurman we see Saturday night. If he lay an egg, fuck it. He's 37 years old. He was former unified welterweight champion. You beat some quality names. You had a good career, brother. Because if he get his ass whooped, this is gonna be his last title shot, like undoubted. But if he beats Fundora, he just stamped his ticket into the Hall of Fame. He may have already been a Hall of Famer, but that just stamped him undoubtedly in the Boxing Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? Might be first ballot. Maybe. And y'all know the Hall of Fame, the Hall of Fame isn't necessarily, the standards are really low to get into the Hall of Fame nowadays, so, who's to say it won't happen? I just passed by a crib that I was going to live in. Kind of regret not moving in there, John, I ain't gonna lie. It's a beautiful house. I don't know why I forgot chose. No, where I live is beautiful, but this apartment, man, if I'd have lived there, I think I was being cheap. I think the rent was only like $100 more. I should have said that. If he beat Fundora, he shakes up 154, absolutely. But this is the concern. Like, this is what I'm concerned about, right? I'm gonna tell you why I'm concerned, but at the same time, I don't care. Because we see how Keith Thurman moves when he got the rock. When he's at the height of his powers, we see how he gives up. Trying to flex on other fighters, not giving us the fights that we want, saying he gonna do whatever the fuck he wanna do. Like, we seen the little diva energy from Keith. You see what I'm saying? So if he beat Fundora, he's 37 years old, and he know that his best years is behind him, he gonna be real careful with the moves he makes. That's what I believe. Prior fight, try to fight Elspeth, who, best days may be behind him as well, and you know what I'm saying? Like, we may see that. Like, we probably try to see him fight motherfuckers from his era when we're trying to have him fight guys that are part of the present, right? But then, when you really think about it, this is why I don't care. Because Sebastian Fundora already doing that. Sebastian Fundora already doing that. This nigga don't want to fight nobody neither. So it's like, you got 2 ducks, regardless. Like, if Fundora wins, he a fucking duck. He not gonna fight who the fuck he's supposed to fight. If Keith Thurman takes the belt off Fundora, he gonna fight motherfuckers that nobody want him to fight. We fucked either way. I remember back to when, not to get too political, but it reminded me of when Trump and Hillary was going up against each other, whatever the case is. Oh, you gotta pick the lesser of both evils. Nah, they both pieces of shit. They both pieces of shit. So it's like, I'm kind of concerned, but at the same time, I'm indifferent to it. That's why I don't really have anybody in particular that I'm rooting for. Like, I'm not going to sit now. I might just root for Keith a little bit because I got some money on the line. If I could turn $40 to $240, yeah, I'm trying to make that $40 work, yo. Just bear with me. Y'all gotta understand. Y'all gotta understand that why I took it. The odds is, I had to take it. You feel me? $40, I could make 6 times. I could make my bread 6 times over. Come on, y'all gotta understand that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. That's why I was like, I'm kind of concerned if Keith won, but at the same time, I really don't give a fuck. Because Fundora already doing what I feel like Keith would do. So, you know what I mean? He said this new era is cooked. I don't think so. I think a lot of these motherfuckers get brave out here in these streets. You see Xander? Xander a brave motherfucker, boy. That motherfucker, he looking at, he got a chip on his shoulder. He don't feel like any of these niggas can whoop him. That nigga either delusional. Sorry about that. Go ahead. Roll your eyes like a little faggot, nigga. I'll beat your motherfucking ass. Excuse my language. I like stopped a little bit after the stop sign. Stop sign. He like looked at me and like rolled his eyes, but like it was like a real zesty eye roll. Wasn't nothing masculine about that shit. Switching like a fucking girl too. Oh ass nigga. They thinking like niggas gonna get out the car and smack these niggas. That's what be frying me like. I don't be understanding. They always they either act tough when they know you in the car and you not gonna come out, or they act tough when they in the car. You know what I'm saying? When they driving, they be feeling like they invincible. You think, oh, so we fight all night, so it's like Xander stock going regardless of what happens. Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna say this. You're not wrong. Because if he wins, holy shit, Puerto Rico got a new superstar, top rank gonna go crazy. If he loses, they gonna be like, oh, you know what I mean? You gotta respect him. He courageous. He only 23 years old, and he fighting somebody that nobody else wanna fight. Blah blah. If he gets a draw, oh my God, you just had a draw with one of the most scariest fighters in boxing right now. One of the most dangerous fighters in the sport right now. You know what I mean? But let's think about it this way on top rank. Put yourself in top rank shoes. If they win, oh my God, these niggas is like, Xander never gonna fight nowhere else but Puerto Rico. You better believe that shit. You wanna go see Xander, you're gonna have to go to Puerto Rico or New York. Like, it's, you know what I mean? Like, them niggas not gonna leave. Them niggas not gonna leave Puerto Rico, bro. They gonna keep Xander locked up on that motherfucking island. Better believe that shit. Another thing. If he lose, they gonna be like, fuck it. We got plenty of time to rebuild him to possibly be a star. You know why? He's 23 fucking years old. He's 23. This nigga barely allowed to drink over here. They got plenty of time to build him back up. Motherfuckers, you know, usually, on average, in the sport of boxing, don't really start hitting their peak till they like 30 anyway. So as long as he doesn't take, like, a lot of punishment, which Boots may very well do to him, he'd be alright. The only dangerous thing is if they allow, let's say like Boots starts really putting the beats on it, right? And they don't stop the fight when they're supposed to. There may be some irreversible damage there, and he may never be the same. That's the only problem. Hopefully he don't got that Romain Villa situation, right? But there's only so much that we could take as human beings, right? And you can have one fight, and that one fight completely changes the trajectory of your career. You know what I mean? So if he doesn't take it, and I think Xander's not planning on taking punishment. He's using his legs. He's gonna try to outbox Boots. I just don't see why or how. I don't see why. I'm gonna just say why. I don't see why he sits in the pocket and bangs with Boots. That would be foolish. He ain't got the power. He ain't got the power where it's like one shot he can put Boots out. I mean, Boots got one punch power. If he catch you in the right spot, he can put you out in one shot. We've seen it happen. Boots is also insanely accurate with that power. So it's like that shit is a recipe for disaster on Xander's eye now. Straight like that. Yeah, don't be Edgar Berlanga. Nah, Xander is a much more intelligent fighter than Edgar Berlanga. Much more intelligent. Like Edgar Berlanga, he has good abilities. He actually got a solid jab. He got decent speed, really good power. I mean, he not really a hoe neither. Like when he in there, even when he getting dropped and all that, like he kept getting up. Like he got heart. Berlanga got heart. He just, his IQ was lacking. And that's because, I ain't gonna lie, they matchmake him horribly. He didn't have any fights coming up that really helped him build his IQ and overall experience as a high-level pro. You there? So, I don't know, man. Xander's a much more intelligent fighter. You can tell. He understands the importance of movement. He got the fundamentals down pat offensively with his textbook combinations. He brings his hands back. There are some openings for Xander, though. Xander gets hit with right hands. He's very open for the right hands. And if you time it right, you can get a left hook in there, too. I mean, Xander's going up against a lot, too, man. He's going to have to bring orthodox and southpaw work. Is my phone on Bluetooth?
Disconnected.
Not anymore. My fault. If my audio was trash, I should have told me. Does the audio sound different? Let me know. Ain't nobody say nothing about the audio. So I hope I ain't do all that talking. Go ahead, yo. Wow. Y'all just telling me about the goddamn audio. God damn. Oh, all right. All right, then we was good regardless. Cool. But yeah, man. Let me get a sip of this shit right here. Y'all niggas ever had this? Ooh-wee. All right, leave that sugar alone, cause that sugar be cooking me. Yes, sir. Ooh, yeah, we back in business. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, niggas don't be knowing about them calypso. Yeah, hell yeah. I ain't gonna lie. One of my homies put me on to these calypsos. Hell yeah. You get the purple joint. I never had the purple one. So far, I had the blue one and this little strawberry lemonade joint. Strawberry lemonade, anything, I'm gonna get it. Oh yeah. I don't give a fuck. We at a restaurant. We could be at the Wendy's drive-thru. Whatever. If you got strawberry lemonade, I need that. the best chaser. Oh, I don't drink. I don't know nothing about that, brother. But this shit tastes good, so I can see why it can be. Yes, sir. Yeah, I just find it so funny. I ain't got nothing pop. Be at them dope fiends asking me for money and shit. In Arizona, there's this brand called AZ Lemonade Stand. Man, I need to go out to Arizona, man. I need to see what the hype is about. Yes, sir. I need to see what the hype is about. I keep hearing good shit about Arizona. Like I peeped that DMX lived over there for a little while. He said that he moved to Arizona because it was uh it was good for his asthma. I've never been to Arizona, man. I only been to the West Coast one time. One time. I need to stop being a fucking Regan. I need to travel, man. I need to travel before these bones start hurting. You heard? What? You said Arizona is literally LA meets Miami, but super clean. For real? Can't say the same about Philly, yo. Philly dirty as shit. Fuck PPA. Just want to throw that in there. Fuck the Philadelphia Parking Authority. Bitch ass niggas just gave me $100 red light ticket. Bitch ass niggas. It's cool. He said he dragging it. Well, I'm gonna say this. That's just his perception, brother, because when I hear people talk about Philly, I'm like, yo, Philly, man, Philly the shit. Philly got this, it got that. And to me, since I live here, I'm like, nigga, it's Philly. Yeah. But everybody that come here love Philly. Oh, like they love it. I'm just like, it's regular to me. You feel what I'm saying? Because I've been living here my whole life, 28 years. I've been here. You know what I'm saying? I wish I had some cash on me. I don't be keeping cash on me. I gotta stop doing that. See that motherfucking smoothie truck? I'd have got me one of them extra large smoothies for like $8. That shit would have had me full the whole day. Yeah, that's just his perception for real. That's how they be seeing it. Like with Philly, man, there's always something to do in Philly. I'm like, I don't be seeing what y'all say, but you know what I mean? When I remember when I had went out to Chicago, I was like, yo, this shit lit. Like my cousin, like, man, I like Philly better. I'm like, what? Chicago is popping. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Damn, 13 years? Shit. Why you moved to Arizona, bro? I feel like I ain't gonna lie, man. Like, I feel like if I was to move, that shit'd kill me because I'm gonna be away from my family. Like I don't wanna be away from like my parents. Of course my son, like no. I wanna be by my son at all times. All right. You moved over there with your mom, so all right. So what?
sure. Yeah, I only ever lived in Philly. I lived on the outskirts for like a year. But that was it. That's all I did. Oh, wait. We at the crib. Yes, sir. So, I guess we just gotta wait until the wins. We fight. Where you from? You said you went to ASU. Where you from, though? You fuck with the studio? Appreciate that, brother. I want to make it clear, I don't own that joint. That's my homie George's studio. But that's a good friend of mine, and he real supportive. Oh, you from New York? All right. Shout out to my New York people. I get a lot of New York love, though. That's crazy. If Xander and Boots get made, you already know where I'm gonna be at. Yeah, shout out to the homie George. Absolutely. They haven't said their official weight from the win with the. I mean, not to my knowledge. I've just been on here. I've been on here for almost an hour. Shout out to my New York people. My pop from Brooklyn. Shout out Coney Island. Shout out to my boy Reed downtown Brooklyn. You know what I mean? Where else? I got homies from Queens that be on here. Uh, Damn, what was the other one? The Bronx. Uh, One nigga said he was from Harlem. Man, shout out, shout out. SOBTV said if Xander Boots get made, hold on. Xander and Boots get made, I'm flying to New York from Austin, Texas. Man, shut up, Austin, Texas. Bro, y'all don't know how cool that shit is to me, bro. Like, I'm in Philadelphia on a fucking YouTube platform, on an online platform, and I'm talking to people from all over the world. From Texas to Japan, from Australia to fucking New York, like from Canada to fucking Dominican Republic. Like, come on, man. Saudi Arabia. Yo, the Saudis be watching me, man. I ain't seen them in a while. You are not qualified, brother. Who he said that to? I know he ain't said that. I think he said that to Slime or something. That shit was funny. Yeah, we having Saudis watching me. Crazy. Only fuck with the real in these YouTube streets. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. He said that to Slime, yeah. You are not qualified, brother. I was like, yo, this nigga crazy. That was funny. But he got upset with me. He stopped watching. He's talking about you would never disrespect me to my face. I'm like, oh, that like I don't know where you from, but in Philly, that should get you slapped saying what I won't do. Oh, Marissa, nah, Marissa, you ain't coming to New York. I would love to meet Marissa. She is such a sweetheart. Uh, Mr. Big Play Brace says, explain. I'm sorry. I want to switch over to the laptop because it's hard for me to read this small ass text over the phone. Let me see if I can do that. I ain't got shit to do. And after I'm up for a little while, I ain't going back to sleep. So let me switch over to the laptop so I can actually read this shit. And I can read it. It's just a little difficult. When I'm getting all undisputed, I don't know, bro. That's just a once in a while type situation. I remember when I was a young boy, I used to get the urge to play. Now it just be like, whatever. Let's see. Yo, we good? Do a Fundora Undisputed stream. Yeah, he is on. I wish Keith Thurman was on there. I wish Keith Thurman is Keith Thurman on Undisputed? I don't think he is. I be noticing the money hungry motherfuckers don't be on there. They probably be asking for insane amounts of money. Okay, well, regardless. Yeah, that would be kind of dope. That's a great idea. Do a Fundora Undisputed stream. Undisputed 2 in the works for real? I don't even think you need to do that though. Like, well, probably to get more promotion behind it and get people more excited. That would be fun. I'll be fun like nowadays, by the way, technology set up, bro. You could just update the app. Undisputed flopped hard. Did it really? Interesting. But anyways, Mr. Big Play Bray asked a question. He says, explain what both boxing camps are doing today before and after the win. I'm gonna just say this. The work is done. So there's nothing much that you could really do. The day before the weigh-in is dependent upon the situation. Like if you made weight easily or you're like really underweight, then you could probably eat like a little small breakfast, weigh-in, whatever the case is. But most likely, they're sleeping. You know what I mean? And they sleeping as long as they can prior to the weigh-in. That's my guess. So they don't have to worry about eating or being hungry, thirsty, none of that type shit. They weigh in, and now their whole thing is getting carbs into their system. So pasta, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. Things that's gonna refuel them. The whole thing is being properly rehydrated for Saturday night. Now, of course, you want to be locked in mentally. You don't want to be around any distractions or any drama, none of that. You really want to have yourself in your own bubble. Chill with positive vibes, your family, all that shit. If you got some crazy ass family or whatever the case is, all dramatic, all wearing away at your energy, stay away from them. Just stay with your team. You could probably, study, watch some fights. You know what I mean? Play your little video games. Just keep your mind occupied. You feel what I'm saying? But the whole thing is just staying off your feet, resting, all that good stuff. Or after you eat, you know what I'm saying? You could walk around and just, let that food digest and all that good stuff. The whole thing is just being well rested and replenished going into the fight. And of course, being locked in mentally. Which you should have been working on in camp. The day of the fight, of course, you want to be well rested. You want to wake up, get a good little breakfast, whatever the case is. It's all dependent upon the person. Like whatever they feel like is in their best interest, what helps them stay on point. You know what I mean? Have like your last meal, which is usually lunch. And then, you know what I mean? You stay locked in, listen to your music, watch your little videos, whatever the case is, whatever just keeps you at peace. You know what I'm saying? This is the calm before the storm. Then, of course, you make it to the arena. You know what I mean? Listen to your music. Don't be doing too much. Stay off of your feet. Stretch. Of course, you don't want to stretch too much because you want your body to be a little tense too. Jump rope, maybe. Shadow box. Of course, you got to get your hands wrapped. And then as the fight gets closer, you put your gloves on. You might, most likely, you're going to do some pad work, just going through like the motions and shit like that. And they knock on your door. Yo, it's time to walk. And you get in there and you perform to the best of your ability. You know what I mean? My boy Darius Rush in the building. There's a Muay Thai game coming out. You wait. Man, I ain't gonna lie. That'd be interesting. I wouldn't mind playing that. I was really good at the UFC game. This is gonna be the last question that I'm gonna sign off. I'll just tap in with y'all later. Shout out to my boy J Cash. Salute, brother. Mazuma, do you see Boots fighting Josh Kelly since he's also a matchroom fighter? Shouldn't it be easier for Eddie to make this fight since it would be an in-house fight to matchroom fighters? Well, that's the thing, right? I'm gonna say this. Eddie Hearn did what he could on his side to try to lock in that fight with Josh Kelly and Jaron Ennis. You know what I mean? When Josh Kelly signed the deal for the Bakr Mortazaliyah fight, according to Eddie Hearn, that Boots was one of the people that Josh Kelly would have looked at as an option to fight next. Josh Kelly and his team felt like Jaron Ennis wasn't their first option. So, as a result, they're looking for another opponent to possibly fight out in the UK. So, Eddie Hearn could put things in play for the fight to happen, but it's ultimately up to the fighter. You cannot force a fighter to fight anybody. You see what's going on with Virgil and De La Hoya right now. Virgil's team was upset that De La Hoya only offered Boots. So it's the equivalent to giving your homie a oop with this girl that he's trying to get with, but then once you give him the oop, you know what I mean? Like the homie get he get cold feet or the girl just don't want to talk to him. It takes you could set the situation up, but you can't make them click. You can't make them have a chemistry. You feel what I'm saying? So it's pretty much that type of situation. Now, what I think would make the fight a lot easier is if Boots beats Xander Zayas and becomes the unified champion. Then that'll probably entice Josh Kelly and them more to fight you, because now you got 3 belts and 1 promotional stable at 154. Who's the so yeah. Oh. Yeah. So then you're gonna have 3 belts. You're gonna have 3 belts involved. It's a matchroom versus matchroom card. We ain't gotta worry about networks, none of that shit. Most likely more money is gonna be on the table to make the fight happen. And that'll probably interest Josh Kelly more to fight. But then again, Xander Zayas try to fight Josh Kelly, and Josh Kelly act like he ain't want to fight him. So I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what it'll take for Josh Kelly to want to rumble Boots. But I tell you what, it'll be more intriguing for Josh Kelly's team if Boots had 2 belts in comparison to having a fucking interim or a regular title. I'm gonna tell you that. So I could see Boots fighting Josh Kelly, but not without their jewelry. That's just me. Josh, and it's not because Boots isn't worthy. He's very worthy. He's more accomplished than Josh Kelly. You feel what I'm saying? Lineal champion, unified champion at welterweight. He's the more accomplished fighter. But at this very moment, Boots doesn't have a title, and that gives Josh Kelly the exit. That gives him the angle to overlook him. Like, man, we ain't fighting him. Like, he ain't got no belts. He can just flex. Oh, I'm a champion. He's not. I don't have to fight him. Or, he's not my mandatory. Why do I have to fight him? And he can just go off and take that angle, and everybody will just be okay with it. So if Boots is a unified champion, Josh Kelly can't flex on him. Josh Kelly can't flex on him
Cause like who the fuck, like you can't flex on me, bro. I got 2 world titles, you got 1. Like, fuck is we even talking about? So yeah, that's basically my thoughts on the whole situation. But I'm gonna get up out of here. Shout out to the nation and the mob for coming through and supporting. That was my first segment. This is my first episode of MAZUMA Morning Thoughts. I'm looking to do this more often. You know what I mean? Especially when I got days off and I'm just kicking it back at the crib. You feel what I'm saying? I hope you guys enjoyed this, John, just as much as I enjoyed, you know, partaking in it for you. I'll be back at y'all with another video tonight to discuss my weigh-in reactions to Keith Thurman and Sebastian Fundora. We're gonna analyze the fight, and then we're gonna get into our final predictions. Until then, hope you guys have a blessed, beautiful one. I'm up out of here, man. Peace.